Hey guys, Canada Graphs here, and I have a different video than I usually put up. This is actually talking about some news that has to do with the CW, where a large majority of my viewers generally come from. As you probably are seeing on the screen right now, reports have come out. It first came out from the Wall Street Journal, but I'm using the Hollywood Reporter link here. Both of them will be in the description if you want to read either article. That Viacom, CBS, and Warner Brothers is exploring the sale of the CW. Now, this is not it's a little out of left field. Not many people probably knew, but it's not also surprising to any people that have paid attention to this network for a long time. I have said in my chats for a long time that the shows you see on there don't care about their TV ratings. That's not where these shows are making their money. They're making their money in secondary markets and streaming. The actual money they make off the CW isn't their primary goal. And this report focuses on that a little bit at one point too. I'll just read a little bit of what it says. Won't read the whole thing. It says the CW is up for sale. Broadcast network home to shows like Batwoman and Walker is being shopped by its corporate owners Viacom, CBS, and Warner Media, multiple sources confirmed to the Hollywood Reporter. It then goes on to say the Wall Street Journal, which first reported the news, says the local TV giant Nexstar is among the potential suitors. Nexstar, which owns 199 local TV stations as well as cable channel News Nation and The Hill, is one of the largest owners of the CW stations. So it sounds like basically the company that they're already airing all these shows on is the one looking to potentially purchase it. Now, one thing they did say in the article, which I thought was interesting that came out, I think it's been a thing many fans and watchers of entertainment sources have thought for a long time, is how does this network make any money? I think we've all thought it. Well, there's actually a statement in here that goes, news of the possible sale arise as the network, a joint venture between CBS and Warner Media, has never been profitable since its formation in 2006 when the two companies merged the former UPN and the WB network. So they've had this network going 15 years without profiting from it on the actual network, which again falls back to all the stuff that has been said before about how this network's primary income is secondary sources. So when you see all those people and they're just chirping about how the Flash's ratings are low, Batwoman's ratings are low, Riverdale's ratings are low, all that stuff, that's not where these companies are making their money. They're making it on secondary markets. They don't care about the CW part of it. Sounds like they've been looking to maybe offload this asset for a while, and now the discussions seem to have reached a point where I would say this looks like it's probably going to be a done deal, if not soon. Sometime soon down the road, if not very soon, because it sounds like this is something both parties, the WB and CBS, have come to the conclusion like, hey, you know what, we don't want to be married to this particular project. Now, one of the things that kind of was referenced in here was what type of ownership deal will it be? Will CW be completely sold, or will Warner Brothers and CBS still own partial shares in it? And it also has been implied, I think it was the Wall Street Journal article, where it basically implies like CBS and Warner will still be making the content that Nexstar will get for the CW. So Nexstar isn't going to get into the business of creating their own unique shows. They may eventually, but it's not going to be a just jump up out of the gate and start doing it process. They will be relying on CBS and WB to still be making their content. So all those people you saw online that were jumping up and down one way or the other, either in anger thinking their Arrowverse shows or Riverdale or whatever else were getting canceled, or on the other end, we're looking at this as we might finally be rid of the CW hands on properties that we, wanted to see different things for and would go to HBO Max. Not very likely. Not very likely at all. What's probably going to happen, the CW television will still be its thing, and then the streaming rights will go to other places, whether that is HBO Max or elsewhere. That is likely how this is going to play out. It'll be a situation where one company owns the airing for television rights, then another company owns the streaming rights, which has kind of been the CW's platform already in the past with their Netflix deal, and more recently, HBO Max and even CW Seed to a little extent, a CW app. Like, they've relied heavily on secondary markets. Nothing looks like it's probably changing much from this. So all of those people you might see online who were panicked or ecstatic, thinking this deal was going to be some big game changer, it's probably not. Not to say some changes might not happen. A new company might come in and be like, you know what, this particular show and this particular show, they haven't really performed at all. We really don't want them on there. And those shows might be moved out to make room for a new show that they do have an interest in. But the majority of the programming that is probably the content on there right now is likely still going to be there. So I would expect you to probably still see, assuming the shows get picked up and the actors are still under contract, you're going to see Superman and Lois and Stargirl on there. You're going to see The Flash, Batwoman, Walker, Riverdale. Shows like this will all likely still be on there. Now, some of the smaller shows that are maybe a TV network would look at it and be like, I don't know if we can make this one work, even though it might do well on streaming, like a Dynasty or a Charmed. Legends of Tomorrow would be in that boat. They might be shows where, whether CBS or WarnerBros, whichever one it is, they kind of have to go to them and just be like, we'll shoulder more of the cost on this than whatever our deal is, to keep producing it for you to air, because we want the back end deal of the streaming rights for it. And I think that's going to be a kind of a thing that they're gonna work on. So for like the short term, very little will probably change. If any changes do happen, you're probably looking at 2 years out from now. It's not going to happen this season. It's not going to happen the start of next season. Maybe the 2023-24 season, maybe then would be a point where the network might finally get to a situation where they're like, okay, these are shows that aren't working for us, and they want to cut ties with those particular shows. Maybe by that point. But for now, it sounds like whoever buys it intends to still take CBS and Warner Brothers properties into their network to air, and very little is going to change from that. Another group of people that may be looking at this situation and thinking, I see some hope, would be those who are looking at the idea that one or more shows that were proposed spin-offs or hopeful spin-offs could get picked up when the sale happens. I know there's fandoms from Supergirl, the rest of the Arrowverse, including Green Arrow and Canaries, and Painkiller. There's, of course, Supernatural has had spin-offs that a couple of times have tried to get off the ground, and more recently, The 100. The likelihood of any of these shows getting picked up for a spin-off at this point very unlikely. I would not say impossible, but I would say incredibly unlikely. So don't look at this as a chance to like rally your fan bases and start pressuring them to pick it up, because they're going to have their mind made up on what their business decision is before you even like send out a tweet. I would say whatever the decision of Warner Brothers or CBS is on any of these things is the final word on it, because they're still the ones that have to produce it, and if they didn't pick it up before, they're not going to pick it up now when they have even less invested into it. So I know there's some fans, Supergirl fans, Supernatural fans, Riverdale fans, or not Riverdale, the 100 fans, other Arrowverse fans, Green Arrow The Canaries, who may have been hoping something could come of this. I wouldn't get your hopes up. So, if you've got a friend out there that's just been like already on Twitter going, oh my god, my favorite show is gonna get canceled, or oh my god, finally my favorite show might move to HBO and get this, you probably can tell them unlikely that's gonna change. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, but unlikely. I just felt, I know a lot of my viewers come here for CW content, so I thought a lot of you might have either heard about this or have not heard about this and might have wanted to know about it. So yeah, that's kind of my view on it. We will have to wait and see, because the deal is not done. Once the deal's done, maybe something happens that's different. If a different company comes in that's not Nexstar, maybe something happens. Maybe the new company that buys the CW is like, you know what? We have different plans. We have our own production team, and our production team wants to put our product out there. That's a possibility. I don't think that's likely to happen, though. I think the CW is going to go on continuing for now. What may happen is they might redesign what the CW stands for. That could mean they try to create a brand that reaches broader audiences than the one they currently have, which is mostly young women. Or they might just keep with the status quo and think that they have a system that'll make that profitable somehow. Whatever it is, we'll find out soon. So that's the story. The CW sounds like it's up for sale. Sounds like they even have a prospective buyer. We'll have to wait and see where that lands overall. Thanks for checking this out, and if you want to see some of my Arrowverse videos from behind the scenes spoiler shots, I have lots on my channel, so if this is your first time here, you can check those out there. Have a good one. Bye.